Hello dear Swift learners, welcome back to Swiflearn. How are you all? I hope everybody is fine, and here I am back for you, bringing with me another session. So we are going to learn about classification of animals in this class, and before that we will be following our ritual and we will be seeing what is Swiflearn all about. So, as I always tell you, Swiflearn, it is India's most sincere learning destination, wherein you get the classes for grade 1 to grade 10. Here you will be having live interactive classes with 6 students maximum in every batch, so that every student gets amazing attention. Also, apart from teachers, we have an academic mentor team which will be tracking your progress and will be guiding you through the same. Also, we cover your syllabus as per your school exam schedule, so that you can perform well there also and you can get amazing grades. Now let's have a look at some of the key features of Swiflearn which makes it all the more special. So these include detailed progress report. Then we have Swiflearn academic test series. Then you can also take unlimited practice tests which are available on the Swiflearn portal. And here there are 2 categories which include subjective and objective tests. So guys, please book your free trial class at Swiflearn and enjoy these amazing things by yourself. And if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon so that you do not miss out any video. And if you like this video, kindly press on like button. Okay, so it is classification of animals, part number 3 today. We have already done 2 parts and the videos are listed at the Swiflearn channel. So if you have missed out on any video, you can just go and recall these things. Now today we are going to see about invertebrates, and we are going to study about Phylum-Chordata. We are going to study about Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. So let's quickly start, but before that let us recall what did we study in our last class. Okay, so recalling question number 1 says name the largest phylum. So largest phylum is Phylum-Arthropoda. Okay, next, what are the major characteristics of Arthropoda? So the major characteristics of Phylum-Arthropoda is, first of all, they are bilaterally symmetrical. Then they are triploblastic, that is, their body is divided or segmented into 3 parts, which is head, thorax and abdomen, and they have joint appendages which help in their movement. Next, give names of 2 animals that are found as parasites inside the human intestine. So the 2 most common animals are, first of all, nematodes, and then we have cestodes. So these are the 2 most common animals which are found in human intestine as parasites. Okay, so let us study about vertebrates. Vertebrates. So in Latin language, the word vertebrate, it means backbone. Okay, so in these animals, actually the notochord, it is replaced by a vertebral column, and we also call it as backbone. And here our body, it is divided into 3 different regions, which is head, neck, trunk and tail. Okay, now talking about Phylum-Chordata, so their body is bilaterally symmetrical. These are bilaterally symmetrical animals, and they show truly sexual dimorphism, and it is one of the largest subphylum of Phylum-Chordata. Now here we are again classifying them into 2 superclasses, which is Pisces and Tetrapoda. Okay, now Phylum-Chordata, as I told you, it is divided into 2 parts, Pisces and Tetrapoda. So here what's happening is, Pisces, it is the fish family. So these are the fishes. They have unpaired and paired middle fins. They have gills, and their body, it is covered with the scales which help them in the movement in water. Then here we have Tetrapoda, in which all the animals, they have 4 pentadactylous leg, and they are mostly terrestrial, but some of them are comfortable in terrestrial life also and aquatic life also. Okay, so they can remain on land also, and they can remain in water also. Now some of the examples are Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. So we all have two pair of limbs and we are grouped under the tetrapoda. Now talking about amphibians. So amphibians are the creatures which can live on both aquatic habitat as well as terrestrial habitat. So these animals they are capable of living both in water as well as on land. And for water they have respiratory organ which is gills, and for land they have respiratory organ which is lungs. Okay, so the amphibian's body, it is divided into like these are various parts: brain, eye, lung. Okay, here it's important. So we have heart, liver, gallbladder, small intestine, it's this. Then we have large intestine, urinary bladder, stomach, etc. Now these are some of the animals, they have both the habitat in their life cycle. Okay, at some point of life cycle they are living in land, and the other part they are living in water. So the larval stage, it is found in water, in which they are respiring through gills, but in the adult stage they are found on land and they respire through lungs. So they have a very soft skin, they do not have scales, and their body is again divisible into head, neck and trunk. So tail, it is also present in some of the species, and examples are frog, toa and salamander. Next is Reptilia. So they are terrestrial, they live on land, and they have this outer skin which is dry and it is covered by horny scales or bony plates. So here you can see the scales and the bony plates cover their body. Okay, they respire through lungs since they live on land, and they are cold-blooded and they are creeping animals, so they creep on the ground. Examples are lizards, snake and crocodiles. Now talking about the differentiation between amphibian and reptiles. So amphibians, they are the animals which can respire through gills and through lungs on different stages of their life cycle. Their heart is 3-chambered, and they are having this thin and moist skin which can be smooth or rough. And reptiles, they respire through lungs. Their heart is also 3-chambered, but crocodile is an exception which has 4-chambered heart, and skin, it is covered with scales. Okay, epidermal scales are there, so it covers the whole skin. Now let's study about aves. So ave is the bird family. They are the warm-blooded aerial vertebrates which are known as birds. Now their body is more or less spindle shaped, and it is again divisible into head, neck, trunk and tail. Now they have two part of limbs, in which the forelimbs, the front limbs, they are modified into wings. So in aves, the front limbs, they are modified into wings for flight, and hind limbs, they are adapted for walking, perching, swimming, eating, whatever things they are doing. Alright, so this is their body, in which it's beak, then they have brain, spinal cord, lungs are here, kidney, gizzard, urethra, duodenum, ileum, cloaca, pancreas, liver, they have stomach, heart, crop, esophagus, trachea, etc. So these are the various body parts of aves. Now their body, it is covered by feathers, and their endoskeleton, it is bony, and their bones are very kind of spongy and lightweight. Their mouth, it is surrounded by horny beak, so teeth are absent, but they have beak for biting the food, and respiration, it takes place only by the lungs. Talking about their heart, it is 4-chambered, in which 2 auricles and 2 ventricles are there, and they have separate sexes. The animals of aves family, they are oviparous and they lay eggs, and their eggs are heavily yolked. So some of the examples are columba, that is pigeon. Then we have milvus, kite. We have Passer domesticus, which is house sparrow, which is found very less nowadays. Then we have Psittacula, which is parrot. Now, one peregrine falcon, its top speed is 240 miles per hour. So the absolute fastest animal on the planet, it is peregrine falcon. Next, talking about the class Mammalia. So here, talking about Mammalia, we are the most evolved animals of animal kingdom. We are warm-blooded, endothermic and homeothermic. Our hair, it forms a kind of insulating layer. Okay, we have sweat gland, scent gland and sebaceous gland present on our body. Our body, it is divided into head, neck, trunk and tail, and eyelids are also movable. Now talking about Mammalia, we have two pair of pennadactyl limbs, okay, and they are adapted for holding things, walking, running, burrowing, climbing, etc. In female of Mammalia kingdom, the female they have mammary glands, which are the milk producing glands to nourish their young ones. External ears are present, and respiration occurs through lungs. Next is teeth are thecodont, which means it is embedded in a socket in the jaw. So our teeth are embedded in the jaw. And heterodont, so it is differentiated into incisors, canines, molars, and premolars. Our heart is four-chambered, 2 auricles and 2 ventricles, and again sexes are distinguishable. So some of the examples of Mammalia kingdom are Macropus, kangaroo; Rattus, rat; then we have Ornithologus, which is rabbit; then Felis, cat; Panthera, which is lion; Elephas, which is elephant; and Homo sapiens, we as human beings. Differentiate between vertebrate and invertebrates. So talking about vertebrates, they have backbone or vertebral column. Their skeleton, it is internal. Then they have this nerve cord in hollow, and it is present on dorsal side of the body. We have heart on the ventral side of the body, and 2 pair of limbs is present. In invertebrates, they do not have any vertebral column or backbone. They do not have any internal skeleton. Then nerve cord, it is solid and it is located on ventral side, and heart is present on the dorsal side. So it is opposite, and they have 3 or more pair of limbs. Now let's revise, differentiate between Amphibia and Reptilia. So talking about Amphibia, they respire through gills or lung. Their heart is 3-chambered, and they have thin and moist skin. Reptilia, they respire through lungs. They have again 3-chambered hearts, except crocodile, which has 4-chambered heart, and their skin, it is covered by scales. Vertebrates. So vertebrates are those creatures which have the backbone, and they have internal skeleton, and they also have 2 pair of limbs. What are reptiles? So reptiles are terrestrial organs which have outer skin which is covered by scale or bony plates. And amphibians, these can be aquatic plus terrestrial. So while in water they have gills to respire, and while on land they have their lungs to respire. Okay, let's do an activity to see whatever we have learned. Which animals live in water and land both? So we have amphibians. Okay, then according to the given characteristics, choose the correct characteristic for given animal. So the animals which respire only through lungs, it is reptiles. Thin and moist skin which is smooth or rough, so it is amphibian. The example of this particular class is lizard, snake, and crocodile. So again it is reptile, and frog, toa, salamander, they come under the category of amphibians. Phylum-Chordata, they are bilaterally symmetrical animals, so that is absolutely true. Okay. So what are the things that we have learned? We had a quick revision. We learned about invertebrates, Phylum-Chordata, in which we learned about Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. So I hope you might have understood everything that we have learned today. We will be meeting in the next class in which I will be bringing another session for you all. And please keep studying and also book your free trial class on Swiflearn. Thank you everyone. Let's meet in the next class.